Hey guys, I'm Kim. I'm one of the high school small group pastors, and I'm going to do a nocturnal moment with you tonight, a nocturnal note. I might be one of the only high school pastors that's actually going to do this at about 1 a.m. because that's kind of the life that I live. So I'm going to start off by answering a couple questions. The first question is, if I were to get up early in the morning, it would probably be because my dad bought me a plane ticket to go somewhere special, like to go visit them or some other fun place. And my dad really feels like the best way to fly is by going early in the morning. And so to save hundreds of dollars, I would force myself to get up early and try to be nice to people until about 10, when my body actually could catch up with what was going on that day. So the second question, the answer should be obvious. Am I a morning person or a night person? But I am definitely a night person. I struggle in the morning a lot. So anyway, tonight we are going to talk not focused in on darkness, but rather focused in on the light. And specifically, we're going to talk about the light of the world tonight. I'm going to start by reading a little bit out of John, the first verse in the first chapter of John, and then go a little bit further in. And it says this: "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning." We're talking about Jesus here. "Through him, Jesus, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. And in him was life." Pay attention to this part. "And that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood it." And then later on in that book, in chapter 8, verse 12, Jesus is talking here, and he says this: "When Jesus spoke to the people again, he said, 'I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.'" Jesus is the light of the world. And when I think about light, I think about two special things about it that gives me peace. The first one is I think that light makes me feel safe. There is a lot of fear that can just be fostered and that thrives in darkness. And I know we've already talked about that on other nights, but that is just so true. I remember when I lived in Chicago, when I was first married, we had to walk to the store a lot because we didn't have a car, so we had to go back and forth often because we had to carry all of our groceries. And a lot of times I had to go to the store at night on my own, and that's just the way that was, right? So it was kind of scary though. There are a lot of times that I would walk by a lot of alleys and doorways that were really dark, and I was always really wondering what was hiding in that dark, and what could be in those places that I didn't know, and it made me very fearful. Now, in the next day, I could be walking in the morning in those same areas and I would be totally fine. But that darkness really was a place that just made my fear very real. And when I think about Jesus being our light and the way he drives out fear, I just know that that is a very true thing for me. He's the one that is ready to be our protector and our the one who loves us, the one who forgives us even in the middle of our fear, and the one who is here to make us feel safe, and just the one that can hide us away. So I believe with all my heart that Jesus is the one who can make us feel safe even in the midst of darkness and in the midst of our fear. The second thing that I love about light is that when I think of light, I feel seen. I remember when I had a newborn daughter and she needed help in the night for whatever reason, I would get up and I would get out of bed, and there's a pile of clothes on the floor that I had to walk around. But before I would get up and start walking, I would turn on the light. And then at that moment, I would realize that it was the pile of clothes was actually my 2.5-year-old son who couldn't sleep, and he was laying on the floor at the foot of our bed. So thankfully, that light helped reveal the truth and helped him be seen and not hurt by me stepping on him. And the light of Jesus is like that too. There are many things that love to hide in darkness. We've already talked about fear being one of them. Another thing that likes to hide in darkness, in my opinion, is sin. Whether it's really at night when you're alone and maybe there's no one around to bother you or to catch you or to just get your mind off things, we just kind of can get trapped in that. Or maybe it's something that just we have darkness that's just kind of overwhelming us even during the day, and we find ourselves trapped in sin. Perhaps another thing that we struggle with in the darkness that loves to hide in darkness is lies. And we've already talked about the lies of the world. Sometimes, it's late at night and we're laying in bed and we're tired. Maybe we're frustrated or discouraged, and we really find ourselves buying into the lies of the world. And I want to just tell you that Jesus is here as the light to help drown out all of that darkness, to be able to speak truth and to offer forgiveness of those sins that like to lurk and bog us down and just get in our way. And the lies, he wants to wipe those out and clear them out and make you and who he has made you to be very clear and very seen, because he sees you and he is brighter than any darkness, and he can drive out anything that gets in our way of him. He is there to rescue you, to forgive you, to protect you, to love you. He is the light of the world. So tonight, I want you to call on him. Just know that Jesus is the light and he's here for you. Love you guys. Good night.